All right, so now we're gonna move on to the interior. One of the nice things that you have is you actually have a memory seat. So you can actually store up to 2 memories on the seat. Once you get your seat positioned where you'd like, the quickest way to store it is you're gonna go ahead and press and hold this set button, and while holding set, you press number 1. Probably heard that little beep. So now I just stored the first memory. If I want to store a second memory, same thing. I just press and hold set, and then it'll store the second memory. So super easy, and that way you'll have it just where you want it. Oh, down here, we have 2 rows of buttons. The top left, you could pop your trunk. SRF, that stands for Steering Responsive Fog Lights. So because you have eyesight, your fog lights are actually going to turn a little bit ahead of the corner for you. If you come up to a stop sign and you have your right blinker on, your right fog light will turn on to give you extra visibility around the corner. The third button to the right is your memory height. If you'd like, you can actually set the height your rear gate opens to, in case it may be opening too tall for your garage. Bottom left, you have traction control. To the right of that, you have your blind spot detection, which you can turn off by pressing this button. And then these last 2 buttons down here pertain to the eyesight. If you want to turn off your lane departure warning, you would press and hold this for 3 seconds, and it'll go ahead and turn off for you. And then you have your eyesight button here. This will deactivate the entire eyesight system. The only time we recommend you do that is when you're going through the car wash. And then Bree, if you want to start it up, just put your foot on the brake. To start the vehicle, you're going to put your foot on the brake, and this button will turn green, and then you can press it. All right, now to all the good fun stuff. So we'll pan over to the screen here real quick. The first thing we like to go through is the climate control. So you have high, medium, low for your heated seats. For both the driver and the passenger can go through high, medium, and low. And then this screen right here is really all the climate settings. So you can adjust the temperature by spinning your wheel up or down. You can turn the entire system off. You can turn on your AC on and off. You can recirculate your air or bring it in freshly from the outside. And then you have dual zone. So I could hit dual, that button will light up, and now we can each have our own temperature. You'll notice I'm at 73, Bree's still at 84. We have the current time is 3:04 p.m. As we hit our mode button, you'll notice this little gentleman on the screen here. The air is going to flow through different vents. And then the last few buttons is your fan speed, up or down. You'll notice this little bar as it climbs, the fan gets louder. Then we have front defrost. And then last but not least, we call this the all-weather button. So when you hit this button, it's not just going to heat up your back window. Your exterior mirrors are going to heat, and your windshield wiper blades are going to start to heat up as well. So that encompasses the entire all-weather package. So that's pretty helpful there. As we move down, there's a little gate. You have 2 USB ports down there, an auxiliary port, and another 12-volt adapter. We have your parking brake here. To engage it, we're simply just going to pull up. It's going to shine bright yet red, and it's also going to say park in bright red by your RPM odometer. To disengage the parking brake, we're going to put the vehicle in drive. Bree, if you can put your foot on the brake. And then you're going to press down, and that'll go ahead and disengage the brake for you. And we'll put the vehicle back in park. X mode is the button here. If you hit it, you'll have a little green icon display on your screen. X mode is specifically for low speed, incline, or decline. So if you're going up a very steep hill, or if you're climbing down a very steep, slippery hill, X mode might be a good feature to help you so that your vehicle does not lose control. So we can just go ahead and turn that off. And then this is hill incline assist. So this is a very helpful feature if you're climbing up through the Rocky Mountains or maybe the Appalachian Mountains, long hill climbs. If you go ahead and click that on, it's going to turn green next to your RPMs, a little bit to the left there. When that button is present, that's going to be helpful if you're climbing up a long, steep incline. It's putting your vehicle into a lower gear setting so that you're not revving the engine too high while you're climbing up through a hill. And then really most of the stuff happens here on your main display screen. So this is the 7.0 Starlink interface. There's 6 major buttons that you can hop into. The most important one right off the bat is you're always going to want to pair your phone. Really easy to pair your phone. You just hit phone. It's going to say, hey, would you like to add a device? Sure, why not? I'll hit yes. Then you're just going to go to your phone's Bluetooth menu. It's going to say Subaru BT. You'll hit that on your phone, and then it'll ask you for permission to pair, and then the device will pair up. The big thing is once the device is paired, it's going to ask you, would you like to transfer your contacts? We always say yes. That way your hands-free calling feature will work much more smoothly, and you can always know who's going to be sending you a call. It'll come up right on your dashboard here for you. So that's our home screen. It'll bounce us back to the home page, and the next spot will be audio. We'll pick FM just to start out here. So the audio screen here pretty much is laid out like this. You have your favorites running down the left-hand column here. You have the information of what station we're on here in the middle, 87.9 for example, and I can tune around there. To set a favorite, it's super simple. You just tune to the station you want, you press and hold, and then it'll overwrite for you. So that'll give you any station you want. You can tune it again and overwrite it if you'd like to. If you no longer want to listen to that station, you can just bounce out of it again. So that's pretty simple. You have your favorites list over here, and then the radio station that's currently on here. If you hit source in the top right-hand corner, that'll give you AM, FM, Sirius XM, which you get free for 120 days. Or if you want to stream anything through your phone, you could hit Bluetooth audio, and whatever you play on your phone, iTunes, whatnot, it'll come through the speakers. If we had a CD in the CD slot, we could hit disc. It's currently grayed out because we don't have a CD in there. It's Pandora friendly, AHA friendly, and if you were plugged into a USB cord, you could stream that way as well. So lots of options to stream the music, which is pretty helpful. So we'll hop back in. A few things that are kind of fun. You have a scan button here. If you're traveling long distances and you need to pick up new signal, scan will look for available radio stations. List takes all of the available radio stations, and list will break them down into genres like rock, hip hop, jazz, country music, and so forth. Sound, obviously, you hop in here. You can mess with your bass, your treble, all that stuff if you'd want to kind of change some of those settings around. And then the last thing that's kind of cool, you hit this little arrow here. It'll expand, and now you can actually pause live radio. You could rewind it, fast forward it, or bring it back up to live. So some cool little options that are fun to play around with when you're listening and driving around. But that's pretty much the radio in a nutshell. Again, the thing I love about this is the simplicity. I'm going to go back home, and then lastly, the map. The top row here is really the places you'll be hanging out the most. Map, obviously there's the map, everything that's around us. If I wanted to program a route, I would hit menu, destination, and then I would go to find address. You'll notice on this screen there's a couple bars here for history. There's a favorite bar where we could add favorites if we've already programmed in lists. We could check our history of all the places we've traveled. I could even put my home address and just hit go home, and it'll take me right to my house. We'll do an address real quick. It breaks it down into essentially 3 categories. There's your city and state, or I'm sorry, first is America, then city or state, and then your street name. So for example, I don't know, let's just put in, I don't know, what's our address here? Where are we at?
28366.
All right, so Macomb County, we're good. So we'll back out of there.
Yeah, just do that one. Yep. 28366.
And then we'll do 28, street name, Hall Road. And then we'll put in the house number, which for us is
263. I forget it.
Oh, I forget it. All right. So you would put in your house number here, and then that would allow you to program the route in. So basically, it's pretty simple. It is a smart search. So as you enter in Macomb or HALL, it's going to start populating results for you so that you can pick from a list of addresses. So pretty cool there. And then we'll back out once more. And then once you do have a route programmed, you can hop in here. You can change the route. You can cancel the route. If the guidance volume, if the lady's talking through the speakers on the turn-by-turn too loud, you can go up or down on that as well. So that's pretty helpful. If we go back home, you have 3 other major buttons that you can hop into. There's apps. Again, Pandora, AHA, Starlink is something you could download to your phone. And then also MirrorLink, which is a program that they're still working on. Essentially, MirrorLink, the plan is what's ever on your phone will mirror itself onto the screen. So we're really looking forward to that. Go back home here. The info button's pretty cool. You get a couple nice stats here. First and foremost, your top row, you could get real-time sports information, weather information, stocks, fuel, all that good stuff if you wanted to program that in. Also, vehicle monitor. You know, your engine oil temperature, how long we've been in the vehicle, the average speed, all that good stuff's in here. There's Eco Monitor, which gives you some other readouts, like we have 230 miles left on a tank, If we drive around, we'd get instant fuel economy. We can check our fuel history, all that good stuff. So some extra stats on the car. And then last but not least down here is maintenance. And this is basically a diary for your car. If you wanted to, you could log all your maintenance visits. So if I just rotated my tires, I could hit the tire rotation. I could plug in the date, the distance I had it done, and then how much time left I have until I need to come in again. So that's kind of helpful. You can kind of keep a log of all the service history that you've been doing. We'll go back to home. And then last but not least is you have your settings. Settings allows you to get in. You can split screen if you'd like, so that you can have navigation and audio on the same screen, which is pretty helpful. We'll do that real quick. And now as you can see, I got both on the screen right now. That seems to be pretty helpful, especially when you're out on a trip. Go home real fast. And then in settings, you can change with your Bluetooth, your phone volume, audio volume again. You can turn your screen off. You can eliminate some of the things like the key beeps when you press the screen. If you don't like that, you can change your color theme around. If you like the amber one, that's my favorite one. So cool little stuff like that. As we move forward, we'll go over to the steering wheel. This is a very important part of the vehicle. So you have eyesight safety technology. The cool thing about that is from this point forward, anytime you use cruise control, it's adaptive. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this button to engage the cruise control. You'll notice up here on the screen, as I hit this button, Bree, if you wanna zoom in over here, you'll notice the little car icon that pops up. So that means I'm ready to use my cruise control. And then to set it, I'm gonna push down on this little lever here. It's gonna go ahead and set it for me. Once I set it, you can go up or down to adjust your speed with this little switch. The button to the left of that, that is what gives you the distance you're putting between the vehicle in front of you. So say you're traveling down the highway, I hit this little button here. If you zoom in up there, Bree, you'll notice there's these lines. Those lines, that's the distance I'm placing between myself and the vehicles in front of me. So that's kind of a matter of preference. When you're out on the road, you can adjust that on the fly. But if you're on the highway and you set your cruise control to 70 miles an hour, you're not going to exceed 70 miles an hour, but you will go slower than that if the traffic around you starts to slow down. So very helpful, very convenient for highway driving. The last button on the wheel here, there's a little car and it's in between two lanes. If I hit that button, Bree, if you zoom into the top right there, a little icon will show, and that's called lane keep assist. What lane keep assist does is if you're traveling down the highway and for whatever reason, maybe you start to fall asleep behind the wheel and you're drifting over to the right, lane keep assist is actually going to keep you in your lane. So it's going to gradually pull the car back into the middle of the lane for you. So it'll do that, and it'll also give you an audible warning like beep, 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 just to let you know, hey, wake up there, mister, you seem to be drifting off the road. So kind of a helpful feature. It's a new feature to Eyesight in 2016. We're pretty excited to have it. Behind the wheel here, you have your wiper blades. The entire lever, as you move it down, it'll do your front blades. The front part of the lever, there's a little knob which you can twist. This little knob is your back wiper blade. So that's pretty helpful there. And then, Bree, if you go to the left-hand side, we have a whole bunch of buttons on the left-hand part of the steering wheel. The bottom two are going to be for your phone. So one phone is going to be for pickup. The other phone lays face down. That's going to be for hang-up. So that'll allow you to hang up the call. Source is going to swap you between AM, FM, XM, CD, any type of audio source. And then you do have a voice command button. You can hit this button to do things like, say, call John Smith, or maybe you want to tune to 105.1 FM, or change the temperature to 75 degrees. All those types of voice commands you can give to the car and it'll react for you. So that's a very helpful button, very nice when you're driving around. You don't have to take your eyes off the wheel. Last but not least, we have this button here. This will allow you to adjust your volume up or down, plus or minus. If you go left to right, it'll take you through stations, and then your middle button will mute the entire radio system for you. This is a back arrow if you need to go to a previous page. This right here is your list button. Remember on the radio screen we saw that list button? That's going to categorize your radio stations into music genres for you.
All right.